What's going on, guys? This is Clark Knives here, back with another video. And we got a pretty long one here, so go ahead and go sit on your couch or get you a drink or just prepare yourself, because we've got, like I said, a pretty long video here. I'm going to be doing an entire knife collection, an updated entire knife collection video. Okay, so I've got a lot to get through. I'm going to kind of keep this introduction short. So before we get into it, go ahead and like and subscribe, and then comment after, and then we will see how it goes. So first off, I'm going to start with all of my case knives, and I do believe I've got everything out of my pockets. So first off, we're going to start with this knife. This is a case full-size trapper. And brother Ryan at RH Blade and Shade gave me this knife. It was completely black and only had just a little bit of this red showing. And he told me that I could modify it. He had already modified it. This was one of the dark red bone jig bone knives in carbon steel. And he told me I could modify it because he modified it. So I went ahead and just sanded it down. It's kind of got like a little bit of a pocket worn type deal. And then of course you can see where the burn is and all that, but still a pretty cool knife. It is in carbon steel. It is a newer knife, 4 on the bottom and 4 on the top, so 2022 knife. So there's that knife. I won't be able to fit all of them in the picture. I may be able to, I don't know. We'll just have to see as we go. But this next knife is my very first pocket knife, actually. My dad got this for me whenever, I don't remember how old I was. I was just young pup. But this is a John Deere case full-size trapper. It is a 2020 model, so I got it I would say in 2020. It's been, let's see here, what is this, 24? It's been 4 years since I've had this knife. I carried it for a long time. It does have a little bit of pocket wear to it. I absolutely loved this thing, and I kind of beat the crap out of it. Used it to scrape gaskets off of pickup trucks and, you know, all this and that. Just, and this was the best knife I've ever had. No blade wobble on either of the blades. This is in the stainless steel, as you can see there. Let's see, stainless steel. And yeah, John Deere case pocket knife. I love John Deere, and I got it for my birthday one year, so that is probably the most sentimental knife I have. I absolutely love that thing. I don't use it much anymore just because I've used it so much. I kind of put it up, and I'm giving all these other knives some loving. And then along with the full-size trappers, I did pick up one of the new smooth natural bone with the flag shield there, and it is in carbon steel as well. Good little teener going. You can't really see it. I like these full-size trappers because whenever you're filleting fish, you can cut the ribs out of the fillets, or sometimes if you've got a small enough fish, you can use this as a fillet knife. A lot of people use full-size trappers as skinning knives. I haven't killed a deer this year, so, or it's not, I don't even think it's deer season yet, or gun season. I think it's bow season. But it is in the carbon steel, as you can see there. And this knife was probably the best one I found at the store. I hand-picked this one. Both blades are striked down the middle. There's just a little bit of gaps. Back springs are offset, but everything else was good. No blade wiggle. It's very tight, and the edges were fairly good, as you can see. Maybe some fish residue, I don't know. But there is that case full-size trapper. And then this is my last full-size trapper I have. I just got this one. This is the case chestnut jigged bone. I did make a video on it not too long ago. I think it was my last video, so if you want to check that out and get all the specs on this thing and everything, you can. Hang on, let's see here. I'm pretty sure this is a 24 knife. Let's see, we got 6 dots. So yeah, that would be a 24, I do believe, just because they just recently came out. This is a 2021 knife in the CV, as you can see there. And the edges are a little wonky on the blades, but that is no big deal at all. It literally sorry, I'm a little dirty. It'll shave hair off, no problem. This thing's wicked sharp. But yeah, there you go. And that's my last full-size trapper. I do have 4, as you can see. It's beginning to be one of my favorite patterns. I really do like the mini trappers a lot, but the full-size are growing on me. I really do like them. And then to add on to the chestnut jig bone, I have this chestnut jig bone mini trapper. I'm pretty sure this is a 2018. It's got some decent patina on there. Nice little, I would say this is probably a California clip blade, just because of how elongated this clip is here. It does have the half stops. And then CV, as you can see there. Good knife, love this knife. And then here's my other mini trapper. This is probably one of, if not the most used pocket knife I have. The next one is probably around the same. I've done a lot of shaving down on this blade. I've abused this thing. No blade wiggle, just because I've hammered on the bolster a couple times to get it tight again. And as you can see, she's got a pretty wicked edge on her. I really do like this knife just because it's got I'm not a big fan of the yellow synthetic, but the black synthetic was, I liked it quite a bit. So I went ahead and threw it in the pocket for a long time, used it, abused it, and it's been a great knife. The only thing that kind of threw me off is you can see the bolsters are really squared and very thick compared to this other knife here. Same with the bottom. I think I sanded these bolsters down and rounded them off a little bit more. There used to be a hump up here, kind of like there is, let's see, is it on, I can't remember which one it's on. Kind of like well, no, these are all perfect. Anyways, I'm sure y'all have probably seen it. There used to be a really big kind of point up here at the top of the bolster, so I sanded it down and rounded it off a little bit more. No gaps, along with this one. No gaps. I'm gonna try and keep from doing an hour-long video, so I'm sorry I'm not really going into these knives too much. I do have videos on most of these, so. And then, of course, to add on to the chestnut jig bone, this is my Case 2011 medium stockman in CV as well. And as you can see, this thing's got a pretty wicked patina all the way around. I do like this knife. This is one of my favorite knives, and it will probably never leave my sight. Let's see here. It's got some pretty good little pocket worn bone on it. I've used this knife for a lot of things. Mostly my whittling knife. This is a good whittling knife because I use this sheep's foot here to, you get the deal. And then my last chestnut jig bone knife is this Case swayback, Tony Bowes Case swayback, and it is a 2018 as well in CV. I haven't used this knife much, as you can see. It don't have hardly any patina on it. I just kind of put it up and haven't really used it all that much. The snap's a little weak on it. And if you see, that's one thing that kind of bothers me. I've oiled it. And all that and tried to get it to come back to life. But, I mean, it's my knife. It's probably not going to leave. I may end up using it a lot here soon. I don't know. it's got a little bit of patina, and then it's got a really janky grind here. So I haven't really sharpened it all that much just because I don't want to lose all my meat. And it's still sharp, so no big deal. All right, and then my last case knife is this Case medium Stockman. And this is probably a prime example, as most of Case's, what do you call that? Quality control nowadays. If you watch this, it doesn't close all the way. Sometimes it'll even, there you go, stick up, slice your finger on that, that'd be nice. But I mean, no big deal. I haven't used this. I received it as a gift, and like I said, I'm just not too big on the yellow synthetic, so I've just kind of put it in the box and let it do its thing. And now we're going to move on to the Great Eastern Cutlery knives. This is my most recent Great Eastern Cutlery. This is the 44. They're calling it the Buffalo Jack, but it would also be known as the Gun Stock Jack. This is the Northfield unexcelled version with the brass everything, basically. I can't remember what they're calling this, but I think it's Autumn Jig Bone, maybe. And then you got that wicked clip there with the good patina. I haven't really patinaed it too much here. Let me see if I can get that angle back. You can't really see it, but it's got a decent patina there. There's that side. There you go. You can kind of see that a little better. Does have the half stops. And for most of y'all that know me, you know I don't like pin blades. But I'll be honest with you, this little pin blade's an apple peeling machine. So I do believe I'm going to like this pin blade a lot more, just because it is big. It's basically a full-size blade. And the thing's just got crazy snap. Blade centering, strike down the middle with both of them. Absolutely no gaps. Everything's just flawless on this knife. And then the next Great Eastern Cutlery is probably my absolute top favorite knife of all time. This is the Northfield number 77 Yankee Barlow with red saw cut handles. And this is the Collector's Knives Special Factory Order, or SFO, for those of you who are wondering. It's got the long pull match strike nail nick with the spear point, and of course the good tieners. This is purely natural patina. Nothing's forced here at all. And then I open carry almost every single knife here. I used to use a slip, especially with this knife. But then I kind of got out of the slip game just because I don't know, I kind of quit enjoying them. It is a long process. You got to pull the slip out, then you got to put that in your hand, and then you got to put it back in your pocket, and then pull it back out. You know, they are very nice, and I will explain why I like using a slip for certain knives. But for these kind of knives, I just throw them in the pocket and use them. And then, I know I haven't been showing the numbers on these, but this is 77, 21, 19. And then this one, I think it's on this blade. 44, 12, 18. I do believe 2018 is my oldest GEC knife. So there are those two. Sorry, I'm a little, whatever you call it. And then this is the prime example of why I would use a slip. This is a wood handle GEC knife, and I'm too worried about my change or anything like that messing up the wood, so I will carry this one in a slip. That way the wood doesn't get messed up here. And this has the big old fat beaver tail spear point knife with a pretty good patina going. This is 85, 21, 18, another 2018 knife. And then probably my favorite part about this knife is the beaver shield, which is more than likely most people's favorite part about this knife. Let me scoot this one up here. Okay, and then my last Great Eastern Cutlery knife is this GEC 71. I used this a lot to recently fix my car, so it's got a little bit of oil on it and grease and stuff like that. But these most of the time come shiny, kind of like the top here and the back. They come shiny. I didn't like that, so I took a little bit of sandpaper and kind of sanded it a little bit to get more of that micarta look to it. And I've just been using the crap out of it. You got that killer drop point blade with some pretty good patina on it. Not too much patina on the back spring there yet. But overall, great knife. And then now we're gonna move on to the old timer knives. This is my old timer 34 OT, I do believe. Yeah, 34 OT. I got this on a trade deal with a guy I used to work with at O'Reilly's. I actually traded a whiskey bone peanut for this knife, and the tinners on this thing is wicked. As you can see, it's been used a lot. Here is the sheep's foot, and then the back spring has a really killer tinner to it as well. Good snap. Then the spade blade, which is kind of, I don't even know what you'd call that nowadays. Stub blade maybe, I don't know. Main blade, not very good snap, but it's okay. And then this old timer knife is my, what is this, 8OT I think? Yes, 8OT, which is basically the granddaddy to that 34 OT there. It's got a long pull, which is the main thing I wanted. I wanted a charade with carbon steel and long pull nail neck. Big J's Knives gifted this to me. So if you don't know who Big J's Knives is, go check him out. He's an awesome feller. But yeah, he gifted this to me. I was looking for one to clean up at a flea market, and I ended up not finding one, so he sent this my way. And he's got his own edge on it, and I'll tell you one thing, this thing is wicked sharp. It is just, oh, it's stupid sharp. Great knife, good little clip point there. And then here is the sheep's foot. And then let's see here, the spade blade. And then my last old timer knife is this one. And I'm sure maybe most of y'all haven't seen this kind of knife before. It is a modern folder with a pocket clip. Here's the model number. And this is a, let's see here, Greenlee, let me see what it says. A Textron company, Greenlee, and it is charade. I've never seen one of these. My big brother actually found this in a toolbox of his and gifted it to me to show y'all on a YouTube video. I was just kind of waiting for the right time. But it does have wood handles and, like I said, a pocket clip, and it's a lock back. This is a very cool knife. I haven't really carried it much. I may have carried it once or twice, but this is probably the first time y'all are seeing of it. Very cool knife, though. It feels really good in the hand. It's a pretty small little, not fixed blade, but everyday carry modern folder. So I really do like that. All right, and then last, I did get this on another little trade deal from that guy we used to work with at O'Reilly's, Little Buck. Was it this one or the other one? This one, yeah, I traded him. This is the Little Buck gentleman's knife. You can kind of slip this in your suit jacket or whatever. We're running out of space here. And then here's my moderns. This is my Benchmade mini bug out that I broke the thumb stud on, but it still works very well. Great action. But anyways, I haven't really been using this knife that much just because I broke the thumb stud, and I probably won't ever get a thumb stud for it. And I used to just flick it and then flick it back, and you know, it's more of a play with knife than a used knife. I have abused the crap out of it, and that's why the thumb stud broke. But overall, great knife. I love this thing quite a bit. And then my last modern is this little Gerber. I'm sure most of y'all have seen this knife. just because it's pretty common. What is that? Is that rust? No. I don't know what that is. Some sort of crap on there. But I used to use this while fishing. I'd cut my fishing string and stuff. This was my first modern folder knife. And that little liner lock is kind of tough there. I carried this for a long, long time as well. I think I carried this and that knife. I put this on my little pocket, and then I put that on a belt sheath. Pancake sheath. But yeah, that's my last one there. My dad got this for me at Menards, I think it was, for like $8. So pretty sweet knife. And then last for my normal knives here is the Swiss Army knife. I don't know what kind of Swiss Army knife this is. I don't really get too many Swiss Army knives. It doesn't say either. I don't really deal with Swiss Army knives. I know one thing, this is a great tool to take with you while fishing, just because of this right here. I love these scissors. They are so darn handy. And then it does have a pin on it. And then, of course, your tweezers. And then I got a little pocket clip, but I usually just put this in a pocket and clip it onto the deal in my tackle box. Let me see here. Trying to get a good. Okay, so that'll probably be the thumbnail there. Let me just kind of scoot everything in here. That'll probably be my thumbnail. But anyways, I'm gonna scoot all these off here now that we got all the slip joints and everything kind of out of the way. And then we'll get into the fixed blades. So overall, I've got a pretty good little slip joint collection there. I put a lot of time and money into collecting most of these knives, and I really enjoy. I've gotten to the point of where I love every one of these knives. I don't have a knife that I don't like and don't use. But yeah, on to the fixed blades. I got this little Peanut is what they're calling it. I got this from a online store. What is it called? Arkansas Knife Shop, I think. But it's got little G10 handles, 1095 carbon steel, and just a cool little knife. Cool little, I guess, neck knife. I don't have a sheath for it or nothing, and I haven't really even used it. But it was just kind of a cool little knife that I wanted to get, so I picked it up. And then this here is probably the best fixed blade knife I've ever had in my entire life, and probably will continue to be the best fixed blade knife I've ever had. This is the Victorinox, whatever you call it. I don't really know. Whenever it comes to Victorinox knives, if I'm going to get one, it's going to be a fixed blade kind of like this, but it's got plastic handles. I don't know if you can see it, but it's got Victorinox letters all over it, and then the plus. You can kind of see one right there, like the little shield they have. You can kind of see it. Come on, focus. You can kind of see it right there. But anyway, it's kind of a cool little touch. Very comfortable knife. If you wanted to strike a ferrule rod, you could, because the edges are really sharp. Good little jimping. And this thing came absolutely wicked sharp from factory. I have never sharpened it, and I've had this thing almost for a year. I use it to kind of mostly use it for camping, but whenever I'm whittling, I'll use this thing to take off lots of wood at a time, just because it's so sharp. And you can just get a full grip. It's very strong, and I usually put my foot on this end if I'm trying to really take off a lot of meat. The only thing I don't like about this knife is the sheath. The sheath sucks, and but it is what it is. And then here's this thing don't even have a name, but this is a knife I picked up at Silver Dollar City, or Steal Your Dollar City. Little fixed blade. I think I picked this up for $25, and it's made out of 1095 carbon steel with the whatever you call it. They didn't grind it off or nothing like that from heat treating it or anything. Very nice knife, good looking wood handles. And I'll be honest with you, I have never used this knife. I just thought it was really cool and wanted to add it to the collection, so I went ahead and picked it up. It was cheap enough, you know. you know the drill. And then here is a addition to my old timer collection. This is a Schrade Walden 165. Does not have the shield, but I picked this up at a flea market for, I think, $25 as well. And then it was kind of nasty. The blade was really nasty and all that, but I cleaned it up, sharpened it again, and it turned out to have a really, really good looking patina. The little deal there wiggles a little bit, but I could probably take a hammer and kind of squeeze that in. But this will probably be my skinning knife for whenever I go deer hunting and everything. I need to make a new sheath for it. Awesome knife. It's got a really good little choil there to kind of choke up on the blade if you have to. And then my last knife is this fixed blade, kind of everyday carry bird and trout knife, I guess, from GR Knives. He made me this from, he has a little forge, and he made me this knife, and I traded him a knife for this one. It does have micarta handles, and then, what is this? I think he said this was 1084 carbon steel, and as you can see, it's got a pretty good patina. I mostly just use this knife around the house for like cooking and stuff. I use it to cut up a lot of potatoes and kind of process steaks and all this and that. You know how it goes. And then here's the sheath that he made for it. But no big deal, Overall, I'm quite happy with my collection. I hope y'all really enjoyed this video, and this will be a good video to kind of watch or listen to while you're doing something or whatever. But if you made it this far, go ahead and comment what your favorite knife out of the collection was. And I really appreciate y'all watching. Really appreciate all my subscribers. This has been probably the funnest I've ever had with anything. I love doing this YouTube. I just kind of make a YouTube video every now and again, and then all y'all comment, and it kind of brightens my day up a little bit. So I really appreciate all y'all. I'm quite blessed to have everybody as a friend on here. But if you enjoyed the video, go ahead and like the video and comment, and we'll see y'all next time.